Today.
Date क्या है?
24th March.
तो पार्ट 2 कहाँ गया? उस दिन टेम्पल हो गया था प्लान बुक पे इज़राइल में। पहले मोहन से वाला गाल अच्छा कल
हरे कृष्ण महाराज, कल तत्ववेद प्रभु took class on 10th canto 64th chapter and text number 1. I will read from text number 1, 64th chapter. Deliverance of King Raga. Should I read summary, Maharaj? Chapter 64, the deliverance of King Raga. Next chapter. Chapter 67, Lord Balrama slays Dvivida gorilla. Story 64. Deliverance of King Raga. This chapter describes how Sri Krishna released King Raga from a curse and instructed the royal order on the great danger of taking a Brahmana's property. One day, Samba and the other young boys of the Yadav dynasty went to the forest to play. And after playing for a long time, they became very thirsty and began looking for water. Inside a dry well, they found an amazing creature, a huge lizard resembling a hill. The boys felt sorry for it and tried to pull it out, but after several attempts with leather, thongs, and ropes, they saw that they would not be able to rescue the creature, and thus they went to Lord Krishna and told him what had happened. The Lord accompanied them to the well and, extending his left hand, easily lifted the lizard out. By the touch of Lord Krishna's hand, the creature transformed at once into a demigod. Then Lord Krishna asked, "Who are you, and how did you assume such a lowly form?" The divine being replied, "My name was King Mriga, son of Ikshvaku, and I was famous for giving charity. Indeed, I gave away countless cows to numerous Brahmanas. But on the occasion, a cow belonging to a first-class Brahmana wandered into my herd. Unaware of this, I gave this cow in charity to a different Brahmana. When the cow's previous owner saw the second Brahmana taking this cow away, the first Brahmana, claiming the cow as his, and began arguing with the second Brahmana. After quarreling for some time, they approached me, and I implored them to each take 100,000 cows in exchange for that one cow, and to please forgive me, for the offense I had unknowingly committed. But neither Brahmana would accept my proposal, and the matter remained unsettled. Shortly thereafter, I died and was taken by the Yamadutas to the court of Yamaraj. Yama asked me which I preferred to. Yama asked me which I preferred to do first: suffer the results of my sins or enjoy the results of my previous acts. I decided to suffer my sinful reactions first, and thus I assumed the body of a lizard. After King Ruga had told his story, he offered prayers to Lord Krishna and then mounted a celestial airplane which transported him to heaven. Lord Krishna then instructed his personal associates as well as the general mass of people on the dangers of stealing a Brahmana's property. Finally, the Lord returned to his palace. Text 1. Should I read?
Translation purpose.
Text 1. Sri Badarani said, O king, one day Samba, Pradyumna, Charu, Banu, Gada, and other young boys of the Yadu dynasty went to a small forest to play. Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami states that the story of a King Raga narrated in this chapter is meant to give sober instructions to all proud kings. Through this incident, Lord Krishna also gave serious lessons to the members of his own family who had become proud of their opulences. Text 2. After playing for a long time, they became thirsty. As they searched for water, they looked inside a dry well and saw a peculiar creature. Text 3. Astonished to behold this creature, a lizard who looked like a hill, they felt sorry for it and tried to lift it out of the well. Text 4. They caught on to the trapped lizard with leather strongs and then with woven ropes, but still they could not lift it out. So they went to Lord Krishna and excitedly told him about the creation. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that because in this chapter the Yadu boys, even Sri Pradyumna, are described as quite young, this must be an early pastime. Text 5. The lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, maintainer of the universe, went to the well and saw the lizard. Then with his left hand, he easily lifted it out. Text 6. Touched by the hand of the glorious Supreme Lord, the being at once gave up its lizard form and assumed that of a resident of heaven. His complexion was beautifully colored like molten gold, and he was adorned with wonderful ornaments, clothes, and garlands. Text 7. Lord Krishna understood the situation, but to inform people in general, he inquired as follows: Who are you, O greatly fortunate one? Seeing your excellent form, I think you must surely be an exalted demigod. Text 8. By what past activity?
Read last look again.
Text 7. Lord Krishna understood the situation, but to inform people in general. He inquired as follows: Who are you, O greatly fortunate one? Seeing your excellent form, I think you must surely be an exalted demigod. Text 8. By, by what past activity were you brought to this condition? It seems you did not deserve such a fate. O good soul, we are eager to know about you, so please inform us about yourself. If, that is, you think this the proper time and place to tell us. Text 9. Śrīla Goswami said, thus questioned by Krishna, whose forms are unlimited, the king, his helmet as dazzling as the sun, bowed down to the Lord Madhava and replied as follows. Text 10. King Nriga said, I am a king known as Nriga, the son of Ikshvaku. Perhaps, Lord, you have heard of me when list of charitable men were recited. Purport. Acharyas point out here that although a tentative expression is used, perhaps you have heard of me, the implication is that there is no doubt. Text 11. What could possibly be unknown to you, O Master? With vision undisturbed by time, you witness the minds of all living beings. Nevertheless, on your order I will speak. Purport. Since the Lord knows everything, there is no need to inform him about anything. Still, to fulfill the Lord's purpose, the King Nriga will speak. Text 12. I gave in charity as many cows as there are grains of sand on the earth, stars in the heavens, or drops in a rain shower. Purport. The idea here is that the king gave innumerable cows in charity. Text 13. Young brown milk laden cows who were well behaved, beautiful, and endowed with good qualities, who were all acquired honestly, and who had gilded horns, silver plated hooves, and decorations of fine ornamental clothes and garlands. Such were the cows, along with their cows that I gave in charity. It's 14, 15. I first honored the Brahmanas who were recipients of my charity by decorating them with fine ornaments. Those most exalted Brahmanas whose families were in need were young and possessed of excellent character and qualities. They were dedicated to truth, famous for their austerity, vastly learned in the Vedic scriptures, and saintly in their behavior. I gave them cows, land, gold, and houses, along with horses, elephants, and marriageable girls with maid servants, as well as sesame, silver, fine beds, clothing, jewels, furniture, and chariots. In addition, I performed Vedic sacrifices and executed various pious welfare activities. Text 16. Once, a cow belonging to a certain first class Brahmana wandered away and entered my herd. Unaware of this, I gave that cow in charity to a different Brahmana. Purport. Srila Swami explains that the term Dvija Mukhya, the first class Brahmana, here indicates a Brahmana who has stopped accepting charity and would thus refuse to accept even one I humbly entreated both the Brahmanas. I will give 100,000 of the best cows in exchange for this one. Please give her back to me. Your good selves should be merciful to me, your servant. I did not know what I was doing. Please save me from this difficult situation, or I will surely fall into a filthy hell. Text 29. 1. The present owner of the cow said, I don't want anything in exchange for this cow, O king, and went away. The other Brahmana declared, I don't want even 10,000 more cows than you are offering. And he too went away. Purport. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada comments, thus disagreeing with the king's proposal, both Brahmanas left the palace in anger, thinking that their lawful position had been usurped. Text 22. O Lord of Lords, O Master of the universe, the agents of Yamaraj, taking advantage of the opportunity thus created, later carried me to his abode. There Yamaraj himself questioned me. Purport. According to the Acharyas, the king's performance of fruitive activities had previously been flawless, but now an inadvertent discrepancy had arisen, and so when the king died, the Yamadutas took him to the abode of Yamaraj, called Samyamani. Text 23. Yamaraj said, My dear king, do you wish to experience the results of your sins first, or those your piety? Indeed, I see no end to the beautiful charity you have performed, or to your consequent enjoyment in the radiant heavenly planets. Text 24. I replied, First, my Lord, let me suffer my sinful reactions. And Yamraj said, Then fall. At once I fell, and while falling, I becoming a lizard, O Master. Text 25. O Keshava, as your servant, I was devoted to the Brahmanas and generous to them, and I always hankered for your audience. Therefore, even till now, I have never forgotten my past life. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami comments on this verse as follows. Since King Riga openly declared that he had two outstanding qualities, namely devotion to the Brahmanas and generosity, it is clear that he possessed these qualities only partially, since someone who is truly pure would not boast about them. It is also clear that King Riga considered such piety to be a separate goal, desirable for its own sake. Thus, he did not fully appreciate pure devotional service to the Lord Krishna. Krishna had not been the only goal of Riga's life, as he was for Amrish Maharaj. Even in the stage of regulative practice, nor do we find that King Riga overcame obstacles like those Amrish did when Durvasa Muni became angry at him. Still, we can conclude that since Nriga was able to see the Lord for some reason or another, he must have had the good quality of sincerely desiring the Lord's association. Srila Prabhupada confirms the above analysis in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the whole, Nriga had not developed Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious person develops love of God, Krishna, not love for pious or impious activities. Therefore, he is not subjected to the results of such action. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, a devotee, by the grace of the Lord, does not become subjected to the resultant reactions of fruitive activities. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti offers the following commentary. When Ruga mentioned one who anchored to have your audience, he was referring to an incident concerning a certain great devotee King Ruga had once met. This devotee was very eager to acquire a temple for a most beautiful deity of the Supreme Lord, and he also wanted copies of such scriptures as the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Being very generous, Ruga arranged for these things, and the devotee was so satisfied that he blessed the king. My dear king, may you have the audience of Supreme Lord. From that time on, Ruga desired to see the Lord. Text 26. O Almighty One, how is it that my eyes see you here before me? You are the Supreme Soul, whom the greatest masters of mystic yoga can meditate upon within their pure hearts. Only by employing this spiritual eye of the Vedas, then how, O Transcendental Lord, are you directly visible to me, since my intelligence has been blinded by the severe tribulations of material life? Only one who has finished his material entanglement in this world should be able to see you. Purport. Even in the body of a lizard, King Ruga could remember his previous life, and now that he had the opportunity to see the Lord, he could understand that he had received special mercy from the personality of Godhead. Text 27. Maharaj? Yes, Maharaj. 6:25. Yeah. Text 27-28. O Deva Deva, Jagannath, Govinda, Purushottama, Narayana, Rishikesha, Punyashloka, Achyuta, Avyaya, O Krishna, please permit me to depart for the world of the demigods. Wherever I live, O Master, may my mind always take shelter of your feet. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments as follows on this verse. Is faith emboldened? Is faith emboldened upon receiving the Lord's mercy and thus attaining the status of servitude? King Ruga properly glorifies the Lord by chanting his names and then asks the Lord's permission to take his leave. The spirit of his prayer is as follows. You are Deva Deva, God even of the gods, and Jagannath, the master of the universe. So please be my master. O Govinda, please make me your property with the same merciful glance you used to enchant the cows. You can do this because you are Purushottama, the supreme form of Godhead. O Narayana, since you are the foundation of the living entities, please be my support, even though I am a bad living entity. O Rishikesha, please make my senses your own. O Punyashloka, now you have become famous as the deliverer of Ruga. O Achyuta, please never be lost to my mind. O Avyaya, you will never diminish in my mind. Thus, the great Bhagavatam commentator Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains the purport of these verses. 29. I offer my repeated obeisances unto you, Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. You are the source of all beings, the possessor of unlimited potencies, the master of all spiritual disciplines. Purport. Śrīla Sridhar Swami comments that King Ruga here offers his obeisances to Brahman, that is, absolute truth, who is unchanged in spite of performing activities. Since ancient times, Western philosophers have puzzled over the question of how God can be unchanging and yet perform activities. Srila Goswami states that this doubt is answered here by the term Ananta Shaktaye, which describes the Lord as the possessor of unlimited potency. Thus, through the Lord's infinite potencies, he can perform innumerable activities without changing his essential nature. The king further offers his obeisances to Sri Krishna, the possessor of the form of eternal bliss and supreme goal of life. The holy name of Krishna is analyzed in a verse from the Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva 71.4, which Srila Prabhupada quotes in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 9.30 purport. Krishirbu vachaka shabdo nascha nivritti vachaka tayor aikyam param brahma Krishna itya abhidhiyate. The word Krish is the attractive feature of the Lord's existence and Na means spiritual pleasure. When the verb Krish is added to Na, it becomes Krishna, which indicates the absolute truth. King Durga offered the above prayers as he is about to leave the personal association of the Supreme Lord. Text 30. Having spoken thus, Maharaja Durga circumambulated Lord Krishna and touched his crown to the Lord's feet. Granted permission to depart, King Durga then boarded a wonderful celestial aeroplane. As all the people present looked on. Text 31. Supreme Personality of God, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, who is especially devoted to the Brahmanas and who embodied the essence of religion, then spoke to his personal associates and thus instructed the royal class in general. Text 32. Lord Krishna said, How indigestible is the property of a Brahmana, even when enjoyed just slightly and by one more potent than fire. What then to speak of kings who try to enjoy it, presuming themselves lords? Purport. Even those made powerful by austerity, mystic yoga, and so on cannot enjoy property stolen from a Brahmana, and what to speak of others. Text 33. I do not consider alahal to be real poison because it has an antidote. But a Brahmana's property, when stolen, can truly be called poison, for it has no antidote in this world. Purport. One who takes a Brahmana's property thinking to enjoy it has actually taken the most deadly poison. Text 34. Poison kills only the person who ingests it, and an ordinary fire may be extinguished with water, but the fire generated from the kindling wood of a Brahmana's property burns the thief's entire family down to the root. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti compares the fire ignited by stealing a Brahmana's property to the fire that blazes within the cavity of an old tree. Such a fire cannot be put out even with the water of numerous rainfalls. Rather, it burns the old tree from within, all the way down to the roots in the ground. Similarly, the fire ignited by stealing a Brahmana's property is the most deadly and should be avoided at all costs. Text 35. If a person enjoys a Brahmana's property without receiving due permission, that property destroys 3 generations of his family. But if he takes it by force or gets the government or other outsiders to help him usurp it, then 10 generations of his as ancestors and 10 generations of his 10 generations of his descendants are all destroyed.
Maharaja, I can wait for 10 minutes. Do it. I'll sit here. Yeah, 10 minutes. Because we have to give ultrasound and all that. It will be done by 7 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
Purport.
Yeah, no problem, Maharaja.
According to
These are very special Śrīla.
These are very special Śrīlas.
Krishna lotus feet.
Oh, yeah.
There's two.
Yeah.
I'm every day. 2 hours paid.
Okay. Yeah.
This is Balaram.
Okay.
Right.
White.
Lord Balram's
Right.
Yes, yes.
I think this is it.
Uh-huh.
So, Giraj.
Giraj.
This is Radha is cooking the top.
Radharani's fruit feed in the top.
Okay.
Looks very
Yes. Yes.
just come in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll wait.
You made it all the way.
But
If you need coffee, make it.
no, I have to go 7 o'clock today. That's fine. No problem, you take it. We have time. It is just 6:30 now.
If you need it.
Purport. According to Śrīla Goswāmī, three Purusha refers to oneself, one's sons and one's grandsons. Text 36.
I didn't have any pain.
No, good, Maharaja then.
Text 36. Members of royal order, blinded by royal opulence, fail to foresee their own downfall. Childishly hankering to enjoy a Brahmana's property, they are actually hankering to go to hell. Text 37-38. For as many years as there are particles of dust touched by the tears of generous Brahmanas who have dependent families and whose property is stolen, uncontrolled kings who usurp a Brahmana's property are cooked along with their royal families in the hell known as 𝐾𝐬𝐬𝐿. Text 39. Whether it be his own gift or someone else, a person who steals a Brahmana's property will take birth as a worm in feces for 60,000 years.
Read the second.
Yes. Whether it be his own gift or someone else, a person who steals a Brahmana's property will take birth as a worm in feces for 60,000 years. Text 40. Text 40. I do not desire Brahmana's wealth. Those who lust after it become short-lived and are defeated. They lose their kingdoms and become snakes who trouble others. Text 41. My dear follower, never treat a learned Brahmana harshly, even if he has sinned, even if he attacks you physically or repeatedly curses you. Always continue to offer him obeisances. Purport. Lord Krishna offers this instruction not only to his personal associates but to all those who claim to be followers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 42. Just as I always carefully bow down to Brahmanas, so all of you should likewise bow down to them. I will punish anyone who acts otherwise. Text 43. When a Brahmana's property is stolen, even unknowingly, it certainly causes the person who takes it to fall down, just as the Brahmana's cow did to Nruga. Purport: Lord here demonstrates that its instructions are not theoretical but practical, as seen concretely in the case of Nruga Maharaj. Text 44. Having thus instructed the residents of Dwaraka, Lord Mukunda, purifier of all the worlds, entered his palace. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 64th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Deliverance of Indriga.
You can stop now. Aku cakap bola tu. Jadi